Following our free educational materials, you learn English in a great way with ease and efficiency.
I'm sorry for being late.
You're supposed to stand here quietly until the flag raising ceremony is over.
About what time can I go to my own class?
When everything is over.
Now that it is all over. Can I go now?
Not yet. You should stand still for another few minutes. Late comers must be recorded.
That's too bad. I'll need a parking permit for next semester.
Do you attend school during the day or only at night?
I only attend class part-time in the evenings.
Do you drive a motorcycle or an automobile?
I have both, but I usually use my car to get to school.
Great. The price for that permit is $30. Cash, check, or credit card?
I'll pay cash.
Do you need to buy a duplicate permit for a second vehicle?
No, thank you.
Okay. Here is your permit. Enjoy the next semester.
Can you tell me something about financial aid?
What exactly?
How to apply for it?
In your first letter, that is, when you apply for admission, you should also tell them you need their financial aid.
Then,
if the aid is available, they will give you 2 or more application forms. One is for admission. The others are for the aid.
what if not?
They will tell you the aid is impossible.
Well, you seem to enjoy speaking English.
You can't help learning when you're using it all day. You'll see. A few weeks' study in the school will have a similar effect on you.
I hope so. You see, at the moment I find it difficult to get used to the teacher's speed and accent. I'm awfully worried. I can't reply as quickly as she seems to expect.
Oh, she likes keeping us on our toes by getting us use English throughout the class. She doesn't mind your making mistakes, though.
You know, speaking in class is a very good chance to put your English to practical use. Hello, are you Chinese?
No, I'm Korean. Where are you from?
I'm from America. Are you settling in all right?
I've already found a flat and it's quite comfortable. What about you?
I live in my uncle's house. He came here 10 years ago.
What do you think of the local accent here? Has it been causing you any problems?
I think it's just a matter of getting used to it.
I can't agree more.
What can I do for you?
I am returning these books.
What did you do to this book?
I accidentally ripped the cover.
You will need to pay for the damage.
How much do I need to pay?
I'm going to need $5.
That's not too expensive.
It isn't.
Here's the $5.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a good one.
Han maimed. What's your plan for the weekend?
I plan to travel around Harvard University and know more about it. To tell you the truth, I plan to apply for Harvard after graduation from high school. It's better to get to know it. What about you?
I get together with my Christian brothers on Saturdays.
Oh, my God. John, I didn't know you are religious. You just look like a scientific cook, like Leonard in The Big Bang Theory.
Come on. Han maimed, don't make a fuss. A lot of Americans, including many scientists, believe in religion.
But I'm really surprised. I thought science and religion are not compatible, are they?
Yes, they are compatible. Actually, the US is both the most developed and the most religious country in the world.
I've heard about it a little bit before, but I don't understand. How can people believe in God since they know God doesn't exist?
That's a little complicated. You'll get to know it when you are acquainted with the U.S. history later on. Religion was and is a part of American people's life. Guess what? Even Harvard University, which is a highly academic institution, is in a sense the product of religion.
Really?
Absolutely. It was founded by a group of Puritan immigrants from England.
Why was it founded by the Puritans? Where were the atheistic educators?
Because most of the first English immigrants who came to the United States were Puritans.
How come? I mean, why most of them were religious people?
That's because in the 16th and 17th century, there was a series of religious reforms in England. Many religious separatists were persecuted and fled to other countries.
So, you mean people didn't enjoy religious freedom in England?
Yes. That's why Puritans moved to the New World, where they believed they could establish a heaven for Puritans. Later on, it was these Puritans who founded Harvard College.
Why did they want to found a college?
Many Puritans had received classic style of higher education in Oxford University and Cambridge University back in England. They hoped that their descendants could receive this kind of education as well.
Oh, I see.
Actually, Harvard was first named New College, without a formal name.
When did it begin to be called Harvard University?
In 1639, it was renamed after its major benefactor John Harvard. Interestingly, John Harvard himself was a clergyman.
It seems that Harvard was predestined to be influenced by religion.
Therefore, it's not exaggerate to claim that had there not been religion, there would not Harvard.
Wow, I didn't know that religion had played such an important role in Harvard history.
Religion has been playing an indispensable part in Harvard history as well as the U.S.
I finally begin to get to know Harvard. It seems that my knowledge of Harvard is rather poor. I have a lot work to do before applying for Harvard.
Remember that Harvard is a part of the United States. So you have to know the U.S. history and culture if you want to have in-depth knowledge of Harvard. The two are closely related.
That's right. I have a lot to learn from you.
You can ask me any question at any time. Hello, Kate. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
Fine. How are your term papers?
Oh my lord. I haven't really started them.
How could it be? They are due 2 weeks later.
I know, but I was busy with my part-time job the last few days.
Kate, you know, I am thinking of getting a part-time job next year because I really need more money and I don't want to ask my parents for any more. But I'm so busy. How am I going to work and study? How do you do it? Do you have some good tips on budgeting time?
To be honest with you, Jason, I don't think I'm doing a very good job of balancing my schoolwork with my job. I'm always 2 steps behind. I've got to get back to the dorm and continue writing that paper. Say, why don't you talk to your advisor? And let me know.
My advisor?
How long can I keep these books?
A month. Don't forget to return them by the due date.
What if I can't finish them by then?
Bring them back to the circulation desk and renew them.
Any terrible fines?
Sure.
The principal just announced that Dr. Smith is going to take over as dean of our department.
Oh.
Why are you so calm? Are you not surprised to hear this?
No, I knew it all along. He was the obvious choice.
Do you think he can do well?
A new broom sweeps clean anyway.
Are there any interesting articles in today's newspapers?
The headlines are all about the presidential election in the United States. Few other stories made the front pages.
Is there anything of interest to us in the business sections?
There's an interesting feature article in the Chronicle about doing business in China, and the Daily News has printed a report about the Special Economic Zone near Pears. We have a subsidiary company L.
Are the reports favorable?
Generally, the reporters take positive lines. They do point out a few problems that we need to be aware of, but there's nothing worrying in the reports. In the classifieds, one of our competitors is a.
That's interesting. They must be thinking of moving into that market. Are there any interesting editorials?
Not really. They all seem to focus on the election. There have been several letters printed in the Chronicle regarding that controversial article on drugs that they printed last week.
I'm not surprised. That article certainly added fuel to the debate. Okay, thanks. Can you leave 2 articles and the advertisements with me? I'd like to read them.
Sure. There you are.
Hey John, did you register for classes yet?
I register this Friday.
What classes do you plan on taking?
I really want to take the communication class, but I don't know if it will be available.
Is that class really that popular?
Yeah, I tried to get in last semester, but it was full by the time I registered.
What other classes are you going to take?
I still need to take English 201, but I really don't like writing.
I took that class already. There is a lot of writing, but it's not that bad.
Oh really? Who was the instructor? There are like 4 different instructors to choose from.
I had Professor Mahoney.
Is he an easy grader?
I'm not sure if he is or not, but I thought he was definitely fair.
Do you mind if I ask you what you got?
Not at all. I got a 3.8.
Well, what did you get in English 101 last year?
I got a 4.0 in that class.
Well, I can't compare to you. I got a 3.1 in English 101. That means if you got a lower grade in English 201, it must be harder.
It's not what it appears. I actually tried harder in the 101 class. If I put as much effort into the 201 class, I would have received the same grade.
Oh, that helps. Thanks. You look better today. How did your test go?
Much better than it did yesterday.
Did you pass?
I not only passed my test, but I aced it. I'm so happy.
You should be. You worked really hard last night preparing for it.
Thanks for helping me with it. If you hadn't encouraged me to do my best, I wouldn't have ever been able to pass.
You don't have to thank me. It's just a part of my job as your counselor.
Did you always do well at school?
No, in fact, I was terrible at taking exams.
Really?
Sure. But my teachers always encouraged me to do the best that I could, and that helped me a lot. When are your final exams?
I'll get my finals in 2 months.
When do you plan on studying for those exams?
Most students just cram the night forehead.
Do you think that's a good idea?
No, I think I should study a little bit at a time, starting a few weeks before the exam.
That sounds like a good idea. What are you going to do if you have any questions while you're studying?
I'll go and talk to my professor or a learning support assistant.
It sounds like you've learned something useful this year. Are there many idioms in English?
There are hundreds and hundreds. English is particularly rich in idiomatic expressions.
Can you give us an example?
I'll look up the rate. To look up doesn't mean to look high into the sky or to look at the roof. It means to search for and find some information.
What about the expression goodbye? Is that an idiom?
That is just a natural, grammatical English expression. It has a direct translation in other languages.
This is interesting, Ms. Parker. Professor, I will not be here for our next class meeting.
Is this absolutely necessary?
I tried to work something out, but I really do have to miss one class.
Will you be able to make up the work you missed?
I'm going to be doing a lot of extra reading.
Remember that I will only let you miss one class meeting per semester.
Yes, I remember.
Could you email me this week as a reminder?
Sure, no problem.
Make good use of that day off. You'll only have one this semester.
Following our free educational materials, you learn English in a great way with ease and efficiency.